guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mohadi. Welcome to Soul Food with Mohadi. So today is part 2. I'm talking about how I went from Christianity to being in the spirituality. Like I said, I don't really believe in the term African spirituality, but because I'm an African in the South African context, practicing spirituality, like let's speak about it. Yeah, I would call it African spirituality. So okay, where do I start? Let me start. Really, where do I start, Vele? Let me start in 2014. Yeah, let's start there. 2014. That's when I went to the sister's apartment. Yeah, if you didn't watch my previous video, do watch it. So when I got to the when I went to the sister's apartment, right, in January, the first month that, because I started staying there in January 2014, that's where I was also starting my work, where I'm working even today. So the first month, I think on the 30th of January, I get an accident while going to work. At that time, I was working, I was walking to work. I get an accident, I break my leg, I end up in the hospital. I have those fixations. Yeah, that's what they call them. Like those, like those, the fixators, right? I have a scar actually. Like, yeah, I'm having a, and then I go back home, like I broke my leg like in two. Like it was a big thing that I needed. Like I was on crutches, I was on those scary things. So yes, so I go back home. I stayed there up until April while my leg was still healing. But from April on, I think I was in my moon boot. Okay, so I removed the fixators, and then I was in the moon boot, so that I can continue my healing journey, right? So for like I think 2 months. Okay, so right when I was at home, my mom is just like, let's go and see a traditional healer, because of the situation, like things that she was generally not happy with when it comes to my life. So then we went to see a traditional healer. That was the first time I went to the office of a traditional healer, I think in my crutches and stuff. Yeah, that was the first time that I went there. I can't even remember what he said, because it was more of my mom complaining about me and certain things that she was just worried about, and for me I was just like, she's overreacting. And also at that time I was a Christian, and then I felt like she just dragged me there, but Naki Muzalwane, I don't do those things. So yeah, all right, so yeah, I can't even remember what he said. So but that was the first time that I was at a traditional healer's office. Yeah, then there was some rituals here, Pudi. Yeah, that's as far as I can remember, ne? And then that was 2014. Then I went back to the sister's apartment. Yeah, then I went back to the sister's apartment to my Christianity, ne? And then but I remember during that time I would just I would read books on things that were not necessarily Christian. Like I was really searching. I was searching for truth, I guess. You know, I was just searching, but I did not intend on leaving Christianity. That was not my intention. But like, I guess maybe the things that I didn't understand about life, I was a seeker that I could not get from spirituality. I mean, from Christianity. I was in retrospect, I was always drawn to spirituality even beyond Christianity, right? I'm speaking in retrospect now, in reflection. So I remember I was reading this book called as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, right? So it's a Christian, it's a verse that you can find in the Bible, but it was not a Christian book necessarily. It was mainly talking about the things the things that you think that shape your life, like the beliefs that you have shape your life, by Alan James. I think you'll find it. It's a PDF that you will find. It's a book that was written in the 1800s, so it's quite a book, an old book. And The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, I was also reading that book. And yeah, books around there. I read The Secret as well, but The Secret was not very convinced about it, because I thought that it was too simplistic. Maybe they are not really telling a lie, but it's you're talking about the law of attraction, but there's many other laws, spiritual laws that govern us, right? So yeah, it was just an oversimplification of the process of manifestation, and I for me, I didn't really buy it that much, that what they were saying, but yeah, I read those kind of books. I remember while I was still in the sister's apartment, there was a time where I attempted to meditate, right? So like I said, I was always a seeker of of spirituality and the spiritual truths, you know. But I was a Christian, and I wanted the Christianity to work out. But yeah, here and there I would wander outside the Christian boundaries, right? And then yeah, by the time I left the church, I already knew about crystals, although I was not using them very much. I didn't have a connection with them, but I knew about them. I knew about chakras, the chakra system. I knew about the candle colors that you can pray with candles. So by 2019 I already knew, but I was not like really practicing. I was just doing a lot of research. Yeah, so yeah, maybe I was here and there trying to play with candles, but it was not a regular practice, right? So yes, anyways, this the one moment that I really now mark it as a moment of awakening was when our church got a drum, the djembe drum, right? So we had visitors from Korea, and then they gifted us the djembe drum. And when that drum came, I was just so fascinated with it, and I played the drum. And I was not even that good of a player of a drum, but I loved that drum so much, and everybody could know, like they knew that I liked this drum. You know, there was a times where I would take it to my place and practice, you know, but there was just something about the drum, like something that was awakening in me. And now when I think about it, those, like when they were playing the drum in the church, and every time that I listened to the drum, like that was my awakening. And that was, I could not explain the feeling, but I knew, my spirit knew that it has something to do with my ancestors. My spirit just knew, right? But my mind was not there. I was not intending to become a African, like an African spirit, an African spirituality practitioner. I was not intending on that, but I just knew that, like, and now when I think about it, I'm thinking that I had a calling. I knew I had a calling, because from then on I really was not, I was no longer paying tithe. Actually, let me play this up. Like, I just want to get that feeling that I was getting. Yeah, like something is calling you, like, hey, like you like there's like find your true north kind of situation. Yeah, like find your true north. There's something about you that's beyond the situation that you are in now. That's how I can explain it, and I felt it at that time, although I could not articulate it, right? So yeah, that was the djembe drum. That even when I was going through my initiation journey, other people got other types of drums, but I got the djembe drum because just the connection, even though I don't know from where, it feels like maybe lifetimes away, I used to be somebody who played the djembe drum. Like that's how deep it was for me. Like it was not just I loved the djembe drum, it was a spiritual thing, and I knew it, but I couldn't have articulated the way it, like I couldn't have articulated it the way I'm articulating it now, because remember, I'm talking in retrospect. But from then on, I started to question things, you know, like I no longer paid tithe. I questioned I questioned the idea of hell. Like really, that was my awakening. That's when I started to awaken through the drum. That's when I can say, oh yeah, no, that's where my spiritual journey really started. The drum, like it did a lot. Like it was opening a portal that the pastor and everybody else, and even myself, I was unaware that it was doing that. It's as if like they fetched me in church, they you know. So yeah, like every time they were playing that thing, they are stirring the ancestors are just saying, or hey Mosadi, it's almost time. You know, like it's almost time. Like, you know, I couldn't be next I didn't share anymore. I was no longer comfortable. Like I said, I stopped paying tithe. Now I'm questioning the tithe situation. Why am I paying tithe? Because the pastor has money. Firstly, he receives money and he's telling us, and it looks like he's living a good life. So if now I'm going to church and I'm passing by people who don't have food, why am I not giving that money to those people rather than like taking it to church, you know? So those kind of things happened. Now I'm questioning hell. Why is God taking us to hell? Like you live for 50 years, for example, but then you are going to be in hell for 50 billion years. Like, does it even make sense? Like, yo guys, like, yeah, like nje, like I was really going out, and even I think that the pastor noticed that there was something, but you couldn't tell or what was it. Lina couldn't tell, but I was really drawing back. I was questioning a lot. Yeah, so that was 2016, because I think the drum came in 2016, and we had so much fun playing with the drum at church. I was playing the drum up until now. My work demanded me to travel, and then there was another drum player, and when I came back I was so jealous, because like that drum was like, it was mine. There was just, yeah, like I was so possessive of the drum. There was just something the drum did for me. It made me feel rooted. It made me feel that I have roots. Like it was just doing, like it made me want to know more about myself, to uncover my identity, you know. Yeah, so that was the drum situation. Yeah, and then from then on, I think I became more rebellious. Yeah, and even when I went to church, because I remember the last couple of years that I was going to church, I was going there because my friends were there. It was more like my social place, but I was not getting fed like spiritually the way I used to. Things were starting to change in me, you know. Yeah, and then yeah, things were starting to change in me. But I was there because my friends were there, even, and that I get to play the drum, you know. Yeah, so so yeah, that's what happened with the drum situation. With me playing the drum, I was just now like that things were starting to move. Like now that I am like in retrospect, now my clothes are just like ringakana loena, you know. In the church, they came to fetch me in the church, I'm telling you, you know. And then yeah, that was that. Then I left. Then when I left, even when I left Christianity, when I left that church, right, when I left it, although it was not my intention to leave the church at that time that I was leaving it, there was just a lot now. I think the pastor was also getting very frustrated with me because now I'm not even paying tithe anymore, and I used to be somebody who would pay tithe and give offerings. He's frustrated with me. There's some kind of a pullback, and it's frustrating him. On top of that, I have a husband who is not coming to the church. I think like that was just also a frustration on his side, frustrated about my situation. And Linda, I'm trying to find what the hell is happening with me. I'm not giving my all to the church. I'm just there now for a good time, to be quite honest. So that's what was happening. And then it came to a point where things were, I had to leave the church, right? Things were just not okay anymore. Even now, my pastor is preaching about my husband who's not at church, and I'm just like, he's preaching about somebody who's on the sofa playing soccer or watching soccer on a Sunday, but that person is not there. But then, so you want me to complain about my husband who's not coming to church. Those were one of the things that were happening. They're one of the dynamics that led me, but it was not the one thing that made me leave the church. I'm not ready to talk about that story yet, but when the time comes, I will tell you what happened, such that now for me it was like the last straw, where I'm just like, it's time to go. So but then when I left the church, as much as I was upset, because I was hurt, because like now for 10 years I've been in this community, and now I'm leaving, I'm being uprooted, and for me, I didn't even think that it was just, I felt like it was more than even just what was happening. I felt like it was spirit ordained, even though at that time I couldn't articulate it the way I'm doing it now. But I just knew that it was over, like the way the things that were happening, it was like I'm being pushed out. But when I left, I felt like I'm putting something down, and then now I can ask myself, what is it that I need from spirituality? Okay, if I'm going to practice spirituality, what are my needs? Like I gave myself that permission, because now I left that expectation of the pastor. At that point, what was even happening was that I got to a point where I needed to sit down with myself and tell myself that I must stop looking for validation from my pastor, just because of the way in which the way he was doing things. But like I said, as much as I looked at him and I'm like, why would you do such a thing, or why would you say those kind of things? But I thought that also, in the Bible they talk about Pharaoh, where God hardens Pharaoh's heart, and then he doesn't let the Egyptians go. For me, it was that kind of scenario where I felt like my God himself and the ancestors, they are hardening his heart, like the way in which he was doing things. They're hardening his heart so that I can go, because it's my time to go, and I've been sensing it's my time to go, but I'm not going because it's just my comfort space at that time. But that was my, even that time, I was just thinking that, what, it's been long overdue. It was my time to leave. And unfortunately, when you don't listen, when your guides are speaking, when spirit is talking, they do it it happens in a harsh way, so that now you can get the message. Time is over, like now you need to go on to your next phase of your life, right? So that was what was happening with me. And when you are a child of the ancestors, so let me just say, when I left the Christian faith, it was not necessarily because of what the pastors did, how the Christians were. I'm talking like that is good for me, that I get to experience that, so that now when I'm in this journey that I'm going to, I don't look back and say that Christianity was better. I don't look back and wish that I was a Christian anymore, or feel like I'm doing anything wrong. I know that because I did my best during that time, there's where Christianity did not reach for me. So I have that closure. That was the importance of me going through that Christianity journey and experiencing what I experienced. so that I don't look back. You know, I didn't leave because of what Christians did. I did not leave because of what the pastors did. I left because it was just not nourishing for me. It was not giving me the grounding that I needed, the roots that I needed for my life. It was not giving me that. Spiritually, I was starving. So, and like I said, it's in retrospect. At that time, I couldn't have said it the way I'm saying it now, right? So now, remember that time, things do happen in between. I go to traditional healers, like traumatic things are happening. I'm going to traditional healers. I'm asking them what the hell, and then they're just like, you are going to be a healer. And it's just big news for me. I'm like, what? Yeah, but they're not necessarily sure whether I have to Ntwaso or not, but definitely I'm going to be a healer. And I know it deep down that I'm a healer. Like that one I could not even dispute. Like I am a healer. Like yeah. But if you tell me about going to Ntwaso or that now, like like if I can do it without having to go on a initiation journey, that would be the best thing ever, you know. Yeah, but like, yeah, so that's what they would tell me, you know. And as a spiritual child, if you have a calling, you will go through like crossed conditions. Like you and crossed conditions are like this, you know, because you are living a life that's not yours. You're trying to emulate other people's lives, like Christians' lives. Like even though I'm out of the Christian faith, I'm still looking back at that time. Like I'm trying to go back, maybe, you know, like here and there. I'm trying to, but it's just not for me. It's not working out, you know. So yeah, like yeah, you'll have cross conditions. This is my perspective and my way of looking at things at this point in time, that you'll have cross conditions, because having a spiritual calling, it's a responsibility, much more than it being this thing or like you are gifted, you are whatever. It's a responsibility. So you are not doing your responsibilities that God and your ancestors put you in on this earth to do. So like who's taking care of your responsibilities? That's why you have crossed conditions. Like things might not work well for you. You are just not where you are supposed to be. You don't know yourself. You are trying to be somebody you are not. You have role models who are Christians, who are walking in their purpose, and then you think because it's Christianity, then Luena, you belong there, but you don't belong there. You have your own purpose that you're not attending to. And that's why sometimes it feels like it's very harsh. Like the ancestors, it's not really even the ancestors, it's just life will just not turn out well for you because you are just not being yourself, you know. So yeah, I'm also not say like, yeah, but anyways, let's stick to the topic. Yeah, so cross conditions, guys, like cross conditions are like, it's almost like you always just have bad luck in jail. Like like things that are so easy for other people, when I hear says like you will suffer. Yeah, guys, it's like it's not nice. Like I wouldn't like, not knowing yourself, I would not wish it upon my worst enemy at all. Like no. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so I'm leaving the Christian faith. I'm deconstructing now, but I'm not yet thinking that now I need to go and initiate, right? I'm deconstructing a lot of the beliefs that I have that don't make sense. Now I'm trying to put myself together now. One of the things I speak about is hell. Other things that come into play, for me, I'm just like, I'm no longer ever going to call myself a sinner. I'm a human being. I'm experiencing life. No longer shall I put such words on me, such harsh words on me, like what the hell. So yeah, those are one of the things that I deconstructed from. And then in 2022, and I know it's 2022 because I checked my history, my order history, I ordered my first oracle cards. That was in May 2021. If you don't know what oracle cards are, let me show you. These are my oracle cards. Okay, so this is an example of the oracle cards. These are one of the first decks that I got. It's called Wisdom of the Oracles, right? Oracle cards are actually divination tools. I went and bought divination tools, guys. Like it's hard to be I don't have a memory of why I thought I need to buy them. I have a memory of buying them, like going to this to take a lot, because I wanted angel cards that time, right? But then I actually didn't get angel cards. Angel cards are oracle cards, but I didn't get the ones that like angels, whatever. But I got the cards, oracle cards, like these ones, right? So but my point is that I don't remember why I wanted to buy them. Like I don't have a memory of like saying, or no, I need to buy them because, you know, I have a memory of researching them. When I went to take a lot, I think there were a lot of them, and then I went to research them on YouTube, like to get the decks that I wanted, right? Like guys, it's for me, I'm emphasizing that I don't know what made me buy them, because I don't. Yeah, like I'm just peculiar sometimes, like Yamagaja, like yeah. So I bought them. I bought the cards. Wow, guys. But at that time, I'm not thinking I have a spiritual calling, because I think I think in life you have a knowing, ne? And something that you know, but your spirit knows, your soul knows, but your mind is not cognizant of it. It's not grasping it, you know. So I think in retrospect, that's what I would say about me, because why the hell am I buying divination cards, guys? Because dilojo kititaula, you know. But in my mind, I'm not buying the taula. I'm buying these things, and I'm so excited about them, because by the end of the year, I'm sure I had like 6-7 decks, you know. I'm so excited about them. They come like this, go high. I'm ordering them, take a lot, loot. If I'm not finding the ones that I want, go take a lot, order, go loot, and you know, like I'm so excited about them. I'm buying, like, by the time I went to initiation school, I had like more than 10, like 15 of them, guys. Like to me, they're toys at that time. Kitty toy, like I'm playing with them, but how I was using them, I was not using them for divination purposes, or in my thinking at that time, because I didn't have much knowledge. But I'm using them. I'm saying I'm not using them for divination purposes. I'm using them more for psychology purposes, and it's also divination, actually. If you think about it, it's divination. It's just that we think that divination is only for foretelling the future, but there were times where they did tell me the future, ne? Or something that I was going to experience, and that's when I realized, yo, this is serious, you know. But there were times where I was like, this they predicted very well, but I was not using them for that. Mainly I was just using them to be able to process my own emotions, right? It is divination, right? Because it is divination in a sense that you involve spirit when you do that. Like I was partnering. Anyways, okay, I wanted to speak about the partnering part also. I really don't have a memory of when the first time I partnered. I'm sure when I was visiting traditional healers, they advised me to start it. But to say, I started 2020-21, I don't know. I don't have a memory of the first time I partnered. But I know that my grandmother, when we used to go to visit her while I was like about December, when we went to see her with my mom, she used to nare passage. Like when we would leave, she would nare passage, and then we would pray, and then she would give us some money. So that was the first time. So it was not like something very foreign to me. But for me, for me to do it personally, I can't remember when I did it. I really don't know, but I know that eventually it became a practice for me, right? So yes, my divination tools, it was a prayer moment for me, and then like a time where I get to spend with myself, right? So that was the goal of the divination tools at that time. But at that time, I'm not thinking like I'm not thinking these things are divination tools that you can actually do a lot with them. You know, for me, they are just toys, and toys that I'm really excited about is art, you know. But now that I'm thinking, I'm like, how do you not pick it up that, no man, this is your spirit saying we go in that way, you know. Not for me. At that time, I'm dumb, like really, but the things are in my house and I like them, and okay, anyways, that is the story of the divination tools. And then let's speak about dreams, right? Like my dreams now are crazy. Like I've always been a dreamer, really. Like I've always been a dreamer, but I always thought that everybody dreamed. So the first dream that I remember that probably gives light to my spiritual calling was when I was still living with my grandmother, and I just dreamt one day that I was living in a community, but this community is underwater, you know, in the sea, you know. And I still remember that dream so vividly, you know, because yeah, like this community, we are living underwater, like amazing, you know. So yeah, but I didn't make much of it, because for me, dreams, I did not make the connection how dreams are really significant. Yeah, I didn't know that dreams were really that significant, or they have more to, like, they are not just dreams, you know. And I remember during the time that I was living in the sister's apartment, I don't remember myself dreaming. Like I was dreaming, but I was not paying attention to my dreams. But now when I left the sister's apartment, when I started dating my my husband, I remember I had dreams, and I remember them very well, you know. I remember them very well. Those dreams were saying that I remember them very, very well, those dreams. Anyways, let me not talk about them, but like I remember, like now, like it was, and for me they felt prophetic, right? So, and then I would have dreams of being chased by lions, being bitten by, like on the bum by the lion cubs. I would have dreams of going back to school, like many dreams of going back to school. I've already graduated, I'm working, but now I'm dreaming of myself being in high school, and in that dream I'm dizzy, like I'm so dizzy, like I'm missing classes, I'm missing exams, I'm in an exam room, I don't know, I am not prepared at all, you know. Those were the kind of dreams that I would have regularly. Now I don't have those dreams anymore of like being at school. And then I would just have dreams, and then 2023 I'm having dreams of saying must go and Ntwaso, and I'm just like, no, though that's not for me, that is a mistake. Is because other people were telling me that I must go to Ntwaso is a mistake. It's just something that I have in my subconscious mind, and because I really don't want to do it, and because I'm so scared of it, that's why it's coming. So I would have dreams like that, and then I would like my spine would just be hot and cold at the same time. Like I was just like, I'm not going to initiation school, you know. Like, yo guys, it was very stressful because I didn't want to, but I knew that there's just something off, but yeah, something that's not well with me. But like, and I'm also drawn very much to spiritual things. I'm doing a lot of research, I'm reading like across the spectrum. I'm reading hoodoo stuff, I'm reading who's that guy that was, I forgot his name, but the European stuff, it's hoodoo. That's the African American things, because I read about that because they it sort of mimicked the way in which we would do things in South Africa, like the root work and everything. I was very curious about that. And then the other one, I can't remember, man. The one, the Europeans, what they did. What is it called? The way but anyways, and I'm also I'm just reading generally things that have to do with spirituality, because like I think my dreams also, and the way in which things are happening in my life, they require me to do research and understand those things, right? And I'm becoming frustrated also because like I feel like I'm not stepping in, like now that I'm like, it's in retrospect as well, that I'm not stepping into what I feel is right, because I'm held back so much by fear. I'm held back by what will people say, and also I'm just not understanding, and then I'm just scared of the Ntwaso process. People have been complaining. I was also following a lot of people who a lot of sangomas, like with Gogo Dineo. Gogo Dineo was one of the people that I followed and listened to a lot. Gogo Dineo, but I started listening to her while I was still in the church. That was in 2015, 2016, I remember. I used to listen to her. I found her, and guys, like some things you really look at them and you be like, but I was heading towards this anyways, because I am not a person that listens to radio at all. I don't listen to radio, but there was a time that I switched on the radio. It was like in the evening, and I was listening to Power FM and Gogo Dineo. I think it was Power FM. Yeah, Gogo Dineo was speaking there. Like I hardly put on radio, hardly. But on that time, Gogo Dineo was there, and that's when I started to be curious also about the African spirituality stuff. So now I'm having dreams. And then also and I'm just also having just difficulties in my life. And I remember now that when I was born, like my mom said, it was a very difficult birth for me. Like it was just like very, very difficult, and that my grandmother had to pass, and then I was born, right? So right then it talks about my history, where like even the way you came into this world, we passage, even the way I passed university, guys, it was just a mess. Like my mom had to passage, and then I could pass university. Guys, now I'm just like, I've been working this journey. I did not know myself. It's painful to look back now and just be like, all along I was this kind of a person. I was trying to package myself into this person, a Christian, because that was the noble thing to do. But I really did so much injustice to myself. But anyways, I forgive that part. I didn't know. Anyways, maybe I will talk about this part in the reflections, in the third video that I'm gonna do. So where was I? Oracle cards, dreams, and then in 2023, then, and at the end of the year, then I realized that okay, I can read omens now. I can read omens, and then also I'm becoming a bit spiritually aware, and now I pasha often, but not often enough, but I'm there, and then I have a dream and it comes true, and it's scary, and I'm just like now if it's not if I'm not doing anything about my spiritual journey, then really I get sick. Really, I don't know what to say to myself. Even now we can see how now you've studied a pattern about yourself. Really, if you don't stand up and do something, and you are going to be in this stage and this confusion for the rest of your life if you don't do something about it. Then comes 2024, 2024, then I'm just like, now I'm like, yo, that I'm shook, really, I'm shook. And then I called this traditional healer, like it was an online thing, and then I explained to her the situation that's getting me in that mindset now. And then she sends me herbs. What do they call them? Ibudlu, like, yeah, Ibudlu herbs. So those herbs, she sends me those herbs, guys, ne? And then I use them, I follow instructions, and now the dreams come like this, you know, like yeah, they come like this. And then I'm told, they show me my gobela, the person that I'm trying to that I was supposed to. Gobela is the person that facilitates your Ntwaso, right? They show me, but like it's very symbolic at that time, you know. At that time I'm not even assuming, or I'm not even getting the fact that she's my gobela. But like I know something, like the spirit knows, but the mind cannot conceive, right? Yeah, because dreams can be very, very coded, right? Sometimes, like after the event happens, and you're like, oh damn, I dreamt about this, you know. Sometimes anyways, yeah, I will talk about dreams in another time. So now the dreams are coming like that. My doses, they giving me like a prayer uniform, the green and white prayer uniform. Then I went and made it, and then they're showing me the drums and the red skirts. And that time I'm not even cognizant of the fact that Ghana, like the red, like I don't know that red skirts are for Matwasana, you know. They show me the red skirt, but I'm just like, I look away, like in the dream, because like Ntwaso Yona just makes me very but I knew already Loja where that is headed, ne? So but like that was scary for me. So like in the dream I just grabbed the green and white uniform, and then I don't look there, you know. Yeah, so that was really helpful for me. Then I used the uniform for some time, and then now I'm like, I really need to do my things. So like 2024, I'm just like, 2024 does not finish before I step into these things, because I'm tired, like, and also it's getting serious. And now, like, now I can just see already, you know what, like, you know. But there was a point where I knew that I'm supposed to go Thwasa, and then I was just telling my ancestors that I'm just scared, you know. I'm really scared. I hear you, but I'm scared, like, you know. So I would procrastinate, yeah. But yeah, so guys, yeah, so during 2024, that I know that I, like, now it's more of a feeling. Now I'm even begging my ancestors, or make a way for me to Thwasa, please just like open up things. Yeah, like I'm here, like you got my attention, I'm ready, like just make a plan for me. And that, like, I'm not going into 2025 the way that I am. I'm tired, like I'm really, really tired. I'm tired, yeah. So yeah, then I did my, yeah, so in 2024, after those things, then I relaxed a little bit. I remember in August I was writing in my diary, you know what, I don't want to be a Sangoma, like why are the ancestors doing this to me? I didn't choose this. But in October, I think, yeah, in October, I went to my Gobela, and I told her that, you know, I went for the consultation, but I told her that I was the one to say that I'm here to Thwasa. That's my mission, you know, like make it happen. Because I was just up to here, yo guys, like now, like spirit was just, yeah, I couldn't anymore, you know. Yeah, so yeah, like it wasn't, yeah, I couldn't anymore. Like I also just wanted to grow spiritually, because I felt like on my own, even if I tried to pasa to King Popasha, to venerate my ancestors, I was just not, my spirit was just contained, like it's not like becoming what it needs to be, you know. So but it's not easy to just go just to say or when we know Ntwaso, like when you know or you have a calling. It's not as easy as it sounds, you know. But yeah, in 2024 December, then I did the Stunya thing, because at least that was not Ntwaso, you know, which scared me so much, you know. And yeah, then I went to my Ntwaso things, and then when I met my Kobela, and I'm like, oh, then I opened my dream book. I'm like, this is what they were talking about when they're talking about when I had that dream, you know. Then I knew at least that that's where my ancestors dropped me, you know. And then yeah, even like the way I arrived, my ancestors gave me a vision, this is what is going to happen. And then that's when I was comfortable, or I did not go there. Although when I went there, it was really just I need to get my things going, you know. Even the way I found her, it was through a friend, you know, through a friend, through social media. But like now when I was reviewing my dreams, then I knew at least it was not because like other people will tell you, or for you to find your Gobela you must have a dream and whatnot. So I didn't have that experience of somebody like that straightforward experience. But by the time I got there, I knew that okay, my ancestors are happy, they are with me. Aki one, yeah. So that's how I ended up going to Ntwaso. In 2024, I did my Stunya stuff to elevate my prophetic gift. You don't Ntwaso for that. Then because I did that with her, then I also interacted with people that were that did their Ntwaso with her. Then I was a bit more comfortable, and then I could then take the step into my Ntwaso, which is the Nguni and the Mdawo Ntwaso. Yeah, and that is where I'm ending the spiritual journey. In due time, then I can talk about the post Ntwaso stuff. But now let's stop there, and then in the next video I'm going to speak about just reflections between my Christianity and my journey up until like the African spirituality journey. Thank you so much for joining me. Thokozani.